Morning guys. So today I want to talk about focus and how it really affects where we're going and what direction we're going in. I've had a real shitty couple of days, gone off sick again, so first day of being off, I've just thought, fuck it, I'm not going to sit around or lie around in bed fucking overthinking shit. So I've been up this morning. It's a beautiful clear morning for December in Birmingham. And I just want to take you for a walk and talk about focus. So look at this. What a beautiful morning. And again, you can sit there, head down, looking at the ground, thinking, fuck me, why does everything go wrong? It's always this, it's always that. There's blaming everyone or blaming. I tend to blame myself. It's because I'm a fucking idiot. It's because I don't deserve to be happy. It's because blah blah blah. And this morning I thought, fuck that. Let's focus. Mindfulness talks about focusing on different things. Mindful walking is a great way of doing that. So come and join me. So I've been wandering around these woods for about an hour now, and honestly, I talk about rating your mood and where it is. Mine's at a 6 or a 7 at the moment, which is really good for me. It's also, we focus, start thinking about how you feel as well, and where you feel things. Often we're focusing on completely the wrong things and disregard what's important in life. Right now I could be thinking, as I was yesterday and the day before, you're better off dead. Kill yourself, you're fucking worthless. And it was triggered by something quite trivial. But unfortunately, my focus at work and my stress levels are all mine. Work's stressful at times, but manageable. And compared to other jobs, it's really a really good job. But I've been focusing on all the negatives recently, and that's led me to having this stupid break and meltdown over something really, just an email. If I took the time to go through it properly, I'd have realised it had nothing to do with me and it wasn't an issue. But it made me think that something I hadn't done had caused someone to die. I'm a mental health nurse, and if you've not seen any of this, and that feeling that someone's died because of an error I did is fucking horrible. And it triggers all of these negative thoughts about me. Yeah, so stupid, innocent email that if I'd have been in the right state of mind, would have taken me 5 minutes to realise, yeah, it's just an error. Nothing happened. I couldn't have done anything. The lady was terminally ill, and it wasn't anything that we did. So knowing that just obviously took a big weight off my mind. But they still remaining in my head is, this is going to happen. I'm convinced at some point I'm going to make a error, fuck up at work, and someone's going to go and kill themselves, and it will be because I didn't do something. I've been a nurse for over 20 years. Everyone talks about, oh yeah, we've got no issues with you at work. And my managers say there's no issues at work, and when I'm on form, I do really bond with people. I've got that lived experience. I understand what they're talking about and what they're saying, and I'm able to help them. And some days I do that, and I leave work feeling really good. I feel as if I've achieved, yeah, this is what I was supposed to be doing with my life. But more days than not, see, look at this, what a beautiful morning. It's so calm here. And I can really start to feel that now. Again, if you've never practiced mindfulness, try some of the exercises I've got on the side. They're really good. If you can get out first thing in the morning like this on a winter's day, it's a great way to start the day. And when you combine that with gratitude, it's very often you say to people what you're grateful for, and it's like, oh, I've got nothing to be fucking grateful for. Every day I'm struggling, and we come up with all these things that legitimately, are negative. But actually, there are a lot of things we could all be grateful for, and we don't think about them. And what we've got to remember, guys, when you're looking at kind of neuroscience now and how our brains work, the more you think about something, the more that gets hardwired. You get more and more neurons firing at the same time to make that connection stronger. So all those negative thoughts, all those shitty self-beliefs that we've been thinking for fucking years, they're like motorways if you compare neural pathways to roads. Those shitty thoughts, those negative self-beliefs, they're like the M25 motorway. Just straight, constant going. And our recovery journey, those thoughts that actually I am a good nurse or I am a good person, I can do well, I have got things to be grateful for, they're all like minor B roads, down in these little windy country roads with big hedges that you can't see over. So those neural pathways, all the negative ones, are like fucking big motorways, always accessible, going 24/7. And the ones we're trying to build and trying to develop are these tiny little minor B roads. So to get those B roads into motorways, that's where that focus needs to be. The more we focus and think about those things, the stronger we build those neural pathways. Think of it as driving. When you started to learn to drive, you had to consciously think about changing gear, put your brake on, clutch control, look in the mirrors, indicate, all sorts going on, and you had to focus on all of those at once. But the more you started to drive and the more experience, things became automatic. And now, once you've been driving a couple of years, you don't even think about clutch, brake, what gear, or indicate, it's all automatic. So we know from lots of neuroscience studies that the brain can change. It's called neuroplasticity. So all the studies have shown that you can change those big negative neural pathways to big positive neural pathways. But the reason they're big and like motorways now is because of all that focus that's been on them. So obviously it's going to take time and focus to change those pathways. And that's where we have a problem, isn't it? Especially at our age. We've either tried everything going, tried all the tablets, tried therapy, works for a bit, and then, as with me this week, bang, they're straight back down to fucking useless twat, kill yourself. So one of the reasons I've started this channel is to push me, there are things that we could all do every day. Little things a lot of the time. But if we do a couple of those little things every day, we'll find our mood is a bit more stable. And when your mood's in a relatively good place, you can start to work on those negative themes and those negative thoughts and self-beliefs more. It's always a combination of things, guys. It's always going to be hard work at first, like driving. But remember, at the end of it, these things become automatic. So when you start having that negative thought cycle that normally spirals within minutes to really, negative, bad thoughts, you can stop it before it gets there. You can reduce the impact. If you're using the mood scale that I talk about, and my average is around about 5 out of 10 a day. If I drop down to a 2, then it's really difficult to do anything to get out of that, and you can spiral around there. 2s and 1s for weeks, months sometimes. So it's really important that you keep yourself at that 5 or a 6 level. And when we do that constantly, it starts to become automatic, so we don't have to do it quite as much at that conscious level. But what we can do is then focus on other aspects like abundance and gratitude. And when you're really experiencing and feeling these things, life is better. There is hope. There's also opportunities there. With the internet now, there's so many different things people can do. I'm doing this, I don't give a shit if anybody watches it. This is about my recovery, and I'm hoping that there might be 1 or 2 people out there that want to join me. And I'm going to put the information there that I'm going to be using, that they can use as well. There's lots of tools and things out there. And it's so hard, especially in England now, to get therapy. And if you've got serious childhood post-traumatic stress disorder, or trauma from when you were young, especially of a sexual nature, then waiting lists for those things can be 2 years. No, I'm not trying to help anyone if they experience severe issues like that, But what I'm trying to do is help people that want to try and keep themselves at a relatively level mood so that they can live life a little better. And maybe that will bring some other options for us. Because I know when I feel that I've got nothing to live for, everyone will be better off without me. It's a fucking horrible place. So if we can avoid being there, it's a bonus. But many people, what I've found in this job, that people say, I've tried everything, when in fact you've tried 3 or 4 things. I've had 5 antidepressants, I think, with varying results. Some of them didn't suit me at all. Within days I felt awful. Some of them, I never really, I think the issue with antidepressants is that people assume, wrongly unfortunately, that one day they're going to wake up and they're like, oh yeah, fuck me, thank God, finally. Unfortunately, that's never happened to me. I'm sure it happens to some people. But we need to be realistic about things. What antidepressants can do, and can be really effective with, is stopping us from going to that, our mood from plummeting too much. Look at this, what a wonderful day. It was really foggy earlier as well before I did this. It was beautiful. But yeah, antidepressants can have a real role, but they're not dealing with those thoughts, that inner critic, those negative self-beliefs that are so deep-rooted. And for that you need to work on it from lots of different aspects. And I find that when I get really shitty like this, it's like, okay, I need to do more of this. I've already started going back to the gym. Me and my wife go, and we do kind of yoga. I started doing some weights again, and it feels really good afterwards. You know, I'm not really pushing myself. I lost quite a bit of weight recently, so I'm just trying to put that back on. But I did lose my man boobs, so that was a bonus. You know, when you get to 58, your body starts going a little bit unless you take care of it. But again, that's one thing that we need to be doing every day, guys, is some form of exercise. I'm lucky enough I've been able to go to a really good gym. It's got, you know, everything you need there. Swimming, there's gyms, you get lots of different activities all in one shop, and it's quite local. And because my wife goes as well, that gives me a push. So if you're doing this stuff on your own, most of the time you're gonna find some way of getting out of it, especially initially, because it's hard. It's something new. Very often we don't have come into it with that positive, right, this is really going to help me start to feel better about myself. It's going to help me get rid of those little aches and pains I've been having now I'm over 50. Instead we go, usually it's, oh fuck me, I've got to go to the gym again. And we're not embracing it, we're not enjoying it. So very soon we lose interest. But there are ways of even making that better. If you're lucky enough to be able to go to a gym, download the Rocky soundtrack or something like that onto your phone, or some really good dance music. And imagine your future self, what you want to look like. Imagine if you've already reached that goal, whether or not that's losing your beard belly, just being fit enough to be able to play with the grandkids, being able to walk. I've learnt to paraglide in the last sort of couple of years, and obviously that starts off from walking up a big fuck off hill, and honestly halfway up, 3 or 4 or 5 times I have to stop and think I'm going to fucking die because I can't breathe. So I've really got to get that sorted. But you need to take care of yourself physically, guys. So one tip I'll give for today is talking about focus. Now, what you focus on changes the way you think about things. That changes the way you feel. As you're feeling a bit more positive, a bit more hopeful, you can do little things to move forward. And again, just start off small. What we've got to realise is this is ground zero again. Day one, all the shit that's happened, it's happened. We know from past experiences, we get through it, and we go back to what our normal is, which is usually pretty fucked up and not really normal. So I've decided now, I can't keep going through this cycle. I don't just want to get to the point where I feel a bit normal, but still when I go out to see friends or family or social things, I still feel like an outsider. I still feel awkward and anxious about things. But I just hide it. I don't want to live like that anymore. I want to manage this shit, get over it, and be able to go and think, this is me, take it or leave it. Not worrying, am I going to say the wrong thing, what they think about me. If they only knew the real me, none of them would fucking talk to me. If they knew, all of that shit from the past. I don't want to be carrying that anymore. My core self-beliefs are that I'm not good enough, I don't deserve anything. I don't deserve to be happy. Those sort of things. The main kind of feelings I carry around day to day is guilt and shame. So my focus is about managing things so I don't have any more guilt or shame in my life. So I'm kind of hyper vigilant and aimed towards making sure that I do things right. Anxious about making mistakes. And it's a shit place to be. So I know that exercise helps. And I know that mindfulness helps. And I know I should be doing these things on a daily basis. But I don't. And there are other things that we can do. Rating our mood, trying to keep it at a constant level, actively doing things. So I've talked before about a cheesy playlist. And this is something, it could be an old album, but as many cheesy songs that really make you feel different. I've got a couple that are really bizarre, but there's a couple of really obscure ones, but they really make me feel emotional. And then there's others that are really cheesy, the kind that you go to a wedding and nobody's dancing, and then suddenly Kylie comes on and everyone's up. So you want to get a playlist that actually changes your emotions, how you feel. And make sure there's plenty of those upbeat ones. And then whenever you're doing something menial, I have it on when I'm washing up or doing the housework and things. It can just help to lift your mood a couple of notches. And if you can do that and get yourself up to a 6 or a 7, it's a much better place to be. But also from there, you can really appreciate and start taking other actions to try and understand these thoughts and feelings. Working on changing those neural pathways more and working on those beliefs. And hopefully you'll join me on the journey as I do exactly that, and we'll do it together. Take care, guys.